Hello, and good morning. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to live stream. We're going to be talking about sorting and filtering when you have a data array that you're working with in Next.js. So last session we went over cookies and UTM tags, and we're going to discuss that a little bit. I ended up putting together a document. Just want to show that before we get started. So underneath Next.js, this is sd.org where our documentation is right now, and created Next.js and cookies. So I'm going to post this in the chat. That's there. So yeah, we put together this document. Going forward, we don't have one today, but we're going to put together a document for these live streams. That way you have a good basis document of what we're going to work on. That's easily referenceable for later down the road. Alright, that being said, having issues with our setup here with this VS Code. There we go. So what's key is that we're going to open up Zesty and we're going to make sure we have data to sort through that has different variables that we can access to make a change. So we have this multiple data set called articles, and I'm going to create one more article just to get some test content in there. So it'll be like article, if there's like some sort of cool moon, full moon, let's call it full moon. This is my full moon article. And we'll go search for a full moon picture to upload. That's a cool one. Save jazz. That's not what I want. Cool. And now we're going to go upload that to our new article. Okay. Selected, and we'll create this item. So let's take a look at the data sets you were working with, and we have a title, article body, and images. So title is something we could sort by. We could sort by alphabetically with title. We're going to add a sort field so we have something numeric that's easier to control. So we're going to select sort here. I'm just going to call this sort order. Add field. So that's at the bottom. Now if we go look at the content items to edit, you can see the sort order is showing up over here. We're just going to go into each one. We'll make the moon one first. And then this one could be second. Save and publish. And this one could be, we'll just make it 5. Okay, so now we have content that has a sort order and has a title. So we're gonna practice changing the sort order, like adjusting the articles by sort order, ascending or descending, and then we'll also do alphabetical. I'll show how that's done. So I'm going to jump into Next.js now, and I'm going to edit the page, and we'll jump into. We have the home page, so we'll go views, home page in Zesty, and let's take a look. Let's fire up our local host. Let's see here, npm dev. Let's just make sure this is our cookie example from before. You got to take a look at that error. This is the home page example, and we already looped through the articles here. And if we scroll down, you can see it's looping through top articles. So top articles is a related item on the particular model. So if we go back to homepage and look, top articles has these two articles. We're going to add the new moon one. here. That way we have 3 things to show. And then if we go look at our home page with a hard refresh, we'll have the 3 articles. I'm gonna ditch this error too. Looks like we have some sort of like hanging div somewhere. But let's just focus on what the sorting and filtering is. So sort, the best documentation for JavaScript is going to be MDN. It's from Mozilla. So there's sort and filter. And you can see like sort here and how it works. So essentially you just say after data, you can say, because we know in this instance data is an array. So we just type sort like that. Alright, save, and let's see what happens. Like nothing's going to happen because we're just sorting an array without any context. So you could pass it a function. And this is like a compare function. So it's interesting as you pass it. You can write it like in line 2, and we can do that as well. But there's a compare function that you pass the sort. So we could say A, B here. So AB is going to compare, it's going to take each one of the objects and compare it. And then we could return like, I think you could just like return A minus B here. But we need to access the item we want to compare. So if we said like title, or in this case, sort order, that's what we named it. Let's see what happens. And we could get the hot reload on this. So if we flip this, you can see the order switching. And if we look and we'll output the order here, just so we can see what we're working with. Article.sort order. So this is 5, right? So we have this, it flips, and if we flip it this way, it's gonna change from ascending, or from descending to ascending. So this is it's very useful. Is that, you can just control the order, so you don't have to worry necessarily how, like what order in the content manager are the items. You can control the order, you can look at something like, we haven't touched title yet, but we could look at sort order here and run this sort comparison. So you could sort with text too. I guess with strings would be the way we'd search. And don't they give an example of the string? This is all based on numbers. And this is an interesting one. They show locality comparing. They probably look at the different character sets for that. Most of these are focused on, I guess, numerics here. Let's see what we say here. You could give this a shot, since this was referenced in the documentation as well. So here we would just say, I guess it would just be the string like this. So it would be title dot open compare, and then we'd pass b dot title inside. Let's see what happens. I haven't seen this function before. Let's see if we flip the switch, if anything happens here. Yeah, it is. So it's comparing. So TMA, so that's going down. If we switch it the other way around, we should start with A first. So AMT. So that's the order there. I'm gonna make this twice, just so when we commit this to the repository, my articles, and I'm gonna say sorted by title, and then articles sorted by sort order. And we have both those examples committed to a repository. And there we're just using the integer. Sort order is an integer. Okay, sorted by title and sorted by sort order. And let's go take a look at the sort order so we can, they are in different orders. So you can see 1, 5, 2, and now it goes 1, 2, 5. And I'll just be explicit here, just so the output is clear. There we go. All right, so the next thing you can do is you can run a filter. It's very similar to sort. So we could say like filter by string length. And filter runs the same way. You run filter and you get the object in this case. So we would just say like call it O for object. So basically we're going to get the article and then we need to pass it a true false statement here. So if I just said true here, I should get all the articles filter by string length. So in this case I could say O dot title dot length greater than 20. So now it's only going to return articles that have a title greater than 20. So this is filtering. So that is, you reduce the amount of data you're working with. And now you can combine sorts and filters, which could be like very useful, right? So we can sort these by sort order descending, so that way the picture of Jax will come first. So we'll flip the way we run this. So Jax, and then picture of me. But so we're sorting it before we run the filter on it. And if we set it with the length greater than 10, we should get all the articles because they're all greater than 10. So we could flip this to say length less than 10, which I don't think any articles will show up. So it's empty. So if we say less than 20, I think we'll just get one, the moon article. So filter by string length, string over 20, and sort order. So there we have it. That keeps it nice and precise. We'll commit these up. It's very valuable when you're working with data. Just know you can like simply pass a sort compare. And when you run a sort, you compare all the items against each other and you pass it a function. When you're doing a filter, you actually look at one item here, and then you can take the information from that item and make a decision on it. So you could do more than just check the length of a string. You could check if it has an image, right? Not show it if it doesn't have an image. You can do length, you could do article, you can do dates. It's up to you, but this just needs to return a Boolean, and then you're all set. So that concludes it. Be a nice, short, concise one. Thanks for tuning in. Check in next week. We're going to be talking about